Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to be making this card and issuing a challenge to you for this coming Valentine's Day. Yes, I know many of you know how much I despise the day, but I think this is going to be a fun challenge and I'm kind of enjoying the spirit of it all by partaking in it myself. So my challenge to you out there is to create a Valentine's Day card for someone that wouldn't normally get a Valentine's Day card for you. Like for instance, your mail person or somebody, a cashier at a grocery store, or somebody that you interact with on a pretty frequent basis, but maybe they wouldn't expect to get a Valentine's Day card for you. So I want you to share your art, whether it be in card form or painting or drawing or any kind of art form. If you want to share the love and spread it out a little bit, I highly challenge you, I don't know if that's the right word, but anyways, I challenge you to create some art no matter what medium to give to someone who least expects it. My friend Taz asked me to create a challenge for February for her group, and I have to look at it on my phone because I keep forgetting the name. The Creative Tartanite Tribe. Can you imagine why I would forget that name? Or I get tongue-tied on that name. Anyways, in her group, she is issuing a challenge each month, and so like I said, this month is to create an art form or art medium of some kind and then give it to someone who least expects it. I hope you will go check out the Facebook group that goes along with this challenge. You can do that down in the description below. I put a link to it. Go check it out and join the rest of the Tartanite community. So let's go ahead and look and see how this card was put together. To get started with today's card, I'm going to be using some of this origami paper from Daiso. I love shopping at Daiso. If you have one in your town, make sure you're going to check it out. It's basically a Japanese dollar store. Pretty much if it doesn't have a price tag on it, it's $1.50. If it has a price tag on it, it's a little bit more than that. But honestly, I haven't seen anything, I don't think I've seen anything over like $5 there. So it's basically a Japanese dollar store, and there are a lot of great items that you can get there. And I found this origami paper, and I feel like this is going to be perfect for today's card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper. It is thin because it is origami paper, but I think it'll still work well for what I'm doing. And by the way, this pack, you get 100 sheets of paper in. So it's got a lot of colors and a lot of great uses for it. So I'm going to be using that one hopefully a lot here in the future. But anyways, so this is kind of going to be the background for my card today, and I will cut this down because obviously it is way larger than what it needs to be. But for now, the first thing that I'm going to do, I've already cut out on my Cricut my background for the stamp that I'm going to be stamping. This is a Close to My Heart stamp set, S1508. Framed stamp of the month. This does work with Cricut cartridge, or I shouldn't say Cricut cartridge, it's a Close to My Heart Cricut cartridge. Yeah, did I explain that right? Anyways, basically, Close to My Heart worked with Cricut and they created cutouts for different stamps. So for today's stamp, I'm going to be using this stamp, which has a coordinating cut in Cricut Design Space. So it's really awesome, and just recently I found out that all of the Close to My Heart cartridges, as far as I know, are available through Cricut Access. So if you have Cricut Access, you have access to these stamps, or to these cuts, I mean, for these stamps. I can't talk tonight. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stamp to create my what am I trying to say here? Basically, I'm gonna stamp onto this cutout using my Tim Holtz stamp platform, and I love this tool because it is honestly the best on the market in my opinion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and just kind of line it up as best as I can. It's not gonna be perfect, but I really want to try and get it close. And I'm pulling it away from the walls here because I just want to get everything lined up the way I want to. Okay, I think I've gotten this lined up as best as possible. We'll see if it probably is going to stamp a little off kilter, but you know, that's just kind of my style, so we're going to go with it. I have my Distress Oxides. I use the Oxides versions of these inks because they stamp so much better than Distress inks do. I don't know why the formulation works so much better in oxides rather than inks, but they just do. So I'm going to use Candied Apple today for this stamp. So I'm going to stamp it, and I'm probably going to have to stamp it more than once. That's why I wanted to put it into the stamp positioner, so that way I would be able to stamp it more than once if needed. And that came out pretty well. I do want to go ahead and stamp it again just to maybe get a little bit more onto those areas that didn't quite stamp out. And I didn't do too badly with centering. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but at least it doesn't look too off. Now to complete this piece, I'm going to stamp Happy Valentines right in the center of this square. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to get this all positioned, and I think it looks pretty good right there. And I'm going to grab my Wilted Violet. I think is going to be a great color. Moving this a little closer so that way I can see, but I think that looks pretty good. Maybe it's a little off kilter. Anyways, I'm going to grab my Wilted Violet and stamp that. Now the reason I'm stamping with Wilted Violet is because I feel like this color will complement the kind of purple tones on that background, at least I hope it will. So I'm just going to kind of stamp it in this red and this purple to complement what's already going to be on the background. I feel this came out pretty well, and I'm actually very happy with the results, and as you can see, I feel like it really does complement this piece of paper very well. So I'm going to set those aside. The next thing I'm going to pull out is a die from Simon Says Stamp. This is Mod Sunglasses, and I think the heart shapes should work well for today's theme, right? So I'm gonna grab my glasses die and look for some paper, and I have an idea for what I want to do, but we'll see if it works out. I'm gonna grab some paper and get my die cut machine pulled out. So I found some paper that I think will be perfect for this die cut. It is Cricut glitter paper. I really like this glitter paper because the glitter is very much attached and doesn't come off onto your hands or your work surface or anywhere you don't want it, which is great because I honestly hate glitter with a passion. So I like the Cricut glitter paper because it does not go everywhere. So what I'm going to do is put it through my Cuttlebug and get this die cut. Alright, I have my card base here. It is a piece of Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. That is going to be an A2 size card, but it is on a side folding card instead of a top folding card like I normally do. And I've cut this piece down. You may remember this piece from just a little while ago. I've cut it down to be the same size as the front of the card, so it is an A2 size card, at least here in America it is. And the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and put some dot liner on the back so that way I can glue it down. Okay, now that I kind of have everything laid out where I want it, I use the insides of the hearts, and those will be great additions to add just a little something because it needed just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my Tombow Extreme Adhesive and add that extreme adhesive behind the hearts, so that way I make sure they really stay attached onto my card and don't end up flying everywhere during transport, even if I'm just going to hand this to my recipient. Alright, so now I'm going to put the glasses, I feel like, right about here. If I couldn't figure out, maybe I could do like glossy accents or something in there, maybe, I don't know, I haven't quite. I think I'm going to keep it the way it is for now, but maybe if I make this card again, I'll think about what I could do instead for the future. So now I'm just going to take some pieces of foam adhesive and add them onto the back of my die cut piece here because I want to pop them up. I would have liked to have popped up the glasses too, but that frame is just so thin, it really doesn't make sense to do that because it would be really hard to cut that adhesive so incredibly thin. So what I'm going to do instead is just pop up this part right here, and then that way it will be a little dimension on the front of it. And I used to really shy away from dimension, but now I am starting to embrace it like never before. So yeah, that's kind of how I roll right now. So there we go, a super simple and easy card to make for someone who is least expecting it. I hope my challenge inspires you to do some good and share the love around the world. We should all be doing more of that. and I would love to see your creations that you make. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will share it across YouTube land. Also guys, if you're not already, hit that button down below that says subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and get great updates every time I post a new video or go live by clicking that bell icon. You can also get social with me by checking out my social media links. Those are also listed down in the description below. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!